All right, what's going on, everybody? I'm making a quick recap video on the trades that were taken, one in the overnight and then one during the AM session. I'll kind of break down exactly what we're looking for, um, and what we took. So, going into the Asia take, I will talk about this exactly what I was seeing, right? We put in a new week opening gap. What I wanted to see was this BPR invalidate for a possible entry long, which I'll kind of break down, right? We have a new week opening gap here. Obviously, since war news came out, so and so, right? The market had a bearish reaction, eventually coming to sweep this low. Now, what does price do? Right, kind of find support in this gap area, and we start to expand higher into that 8 p.m. Asia Open. Now, what I'm looking for here is when we have a new week opening gap, it tends to act as a strong magnet for liquidity, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to see price do, was trade back into that new week opening gap and fill it, since we have so much strength, right? Especially off this low, right? You can see the trend is starting to be clear. Going to the 5-minute here, right? We have a nice 5-minute gap that we created. Price rebalances back in this gap. Now, we do put in a small bearish 5-minute gap here. We do have another bearish 5-minute gap here as well. But again, this 5-minute gap doesn't really phase me as long as we can put in a good significant low, which we did, which I'll kind of break down in the 1 minute. I'd anticipate this gap to go inversion and then get that full delivery higher, right? And as you can see, we did put in a good significant low, but then we ended up just trading lower, right? So going to the 1 minute, let's go into this. This is that BPR that I was talking about, right? So what do we do here on the 1 minute in this deep discount of this gap? We put in a BPR, right? We have a bullish gap here. We have a small bearish gap, right? They flip back and forth and we reclaim this area, right? Seeing us hold this new BPR created, right, that we initially want to see invalidate, I wanted to see that good swing point low in that gap put in and hold, right? So we took our entry. Eventually, I don't know if something happened here, if it was news related or whatever it was, right? But we traded lower and got stopped out. No problem with that, right? We take it. Clearly, our timing was off, as you can see, right? Going into the rest of the session, right? We just delivered lower. Nothing wrong with that. Didn't engage with anything else. Going back into New York, what do we do here? So, price has a significant run on lows, right? And what does price do overnight, right? It starts to build a trend into London, into New York, right? What does New York do, right? It opens up, sweeps this internal, right? And then it starts to deliver a massive pump to the upside. Now, with this in mind, with our target higher, right, what we want to see is a continuation into that area, right, or draw on liquidity, we'll say, the new week opening gap. So, seeing that on the 15-minute here, right, you can see we put in a 15-minute gap. Now, this is our point of interest that we're looking for to possibly take a long. Now, why did we favor ES instead of NQ? Well, ES was the leading asset. It was stronger at that point in time, right? Which means obviously we're going to long the stronger asset, right? That's just logical. Going down to the 1 minute, right? We see price start to come back into this area and rebalance. Now, what do we see price do? We have this small inversion. I did long here on ES with a personal entry, right? And then I was waiting for a good push to obviously alert it to the Discord, which I did. And I will show you guys here as well.
Order filled.
All right, right here, right? So we get a close above this area, right? This inversion. This is what I was looking for. Price retraces back. We get a close back above, right? And we kind of just run through all this, but we'll break this down in the video here. So we get a closure above, right? This looks pretty good. You jab long, and then pretty much that's it. No drawdown, no nothing. We put in a good invalidation point here at this 1 minute OB. Right? We understand we put in a good significant low with SMT in this gap. Especially speaking logically, right? We're saying that ES is the stronger asset. So we didn't technically need to tap into that 15-minute gap area on ES. We got it on NQ. Price showed an immediate reaction, and that was good enough to long, right? Into the clear draw on liquidity target, which was that new week opening gap fill, which is what we wanted, obviously, in the Asia session, but then ended up delivering in New York. That's pretty much it. Just the continuation open off that opening range move. And then that's it, right? Found our entry. Entries were pretty limited, not the cleanest I wanted to see, but we kind of had to just make do with what we had. And that was it. After that, we filled that new week opening gap. We kind of traded down, traded sideways back and forth, and then we got a break back up to the upside, and we are kind of just trying to close back in the range is what I think for the rest of the day. But pretty short, pretty simple, nothing too crazy. Pretty good day. And that'll pretty much wrap it up for the recap. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.